Hello everybody, this is HD Shaves here. I'm back into the video. Hope this finds you well and in good spirits. So this is being recorded on Friday, September 9th. I'm not quite sure when it will be posted as I have quite a busy weekend ahead, but this week has been very relaxing in terms of the shaves. The main product that I'll be talking about today is Martin de Candre MDC Fougere. So a kind viewer of the channel, Greg, offered to send me this entire tub that he had and said to go crazy and load right out of the container if I wanted to, because I had been wanting to try one of the MDC soaps for a while. I had the Rose scent a long time ago, but I never really got around to using it, and I eventually sold it off to someone. But of course, there's all of the ancient lore about MDC that it's an extremely firm soap, it'll last you forever, and that you need, only a couple swirls on the soap to get enough lather for 3 passes. And I must say that in the past, it's been a little over a week since I've been using the soap, and all that has been true. I have not needed to load the soap for very long, and I've really yet to find anything very negative about the soap. Some people think that it doesn't perform as well as the top tier modern artisan soap. Some people find the soap formula to be drying, and then in the post shave department. But I really haven't noticed that. So I'm going to show you how I've been using this container this week. But to show you the other products, it's basically the same as the last video. I'm still using the Karve Overlander with the green Knopf handle, which I've been loving this razor very much. It has to be my favorite DE razor of the past 6 months or something. Thank you very much to Dave for selling this to me. Dave, if you're watching, cheers, bud. And also, I've still been using the Wolfman WR-B2 brush. So let's go ahead and we'll put some warm water on the paste, and I'll show you how I've been loading and lathering the soap today. Now we're going to wet the brush through, of course, and I'm going to give it 2 big shakes. 1, 2. Again, these synthetics don't hold that much water to begin with, but 2 shakes is what I've been doing. So this is what the container looks like. I did take a little scoop out before I decided I wanted to commit to loading off the full container. But it is this weird thing where you use it and it still looks totally full. So I've been loading for 7 seconds with this brush and the soap. And so let's see if we can do that now. So we're gonna start right there. And I'm watching the time on my camera. And that is 7 seconds. Looks a little dry, but what I do now is I just add a little water to the top of the brush. So a little more here. Microfiber, we say, so you have kind of a wet on wet thing. And here we go. So I found that even just with loading that amount of time, this soap has required a lot of water to be added. So hopefully you can see at this point that it's pretty pasty, and that's okay. Let's start just painting in some water. I'm just going to add some water sort of to the side and try and rotate my head in a way that it gets added to it gracefully. I'm going to add a little more water. I'm going to try to paint in water for a little bit, and then once it gets a little bit knocked down, then I'll try to start splaying the brush. So again, I haven't found this process to be difficult to figure out how to do, I guess. It's just been surprising to me how much water I've needed to add. So let's do this one more time. And you can see, hopefully now that it's starting to get a little bit translucent, you can see my beard and facial imperfections through the lather. And then let's see what happens if we start playing the brush now. And so this is the funny thing about this is when you start to do this, you can see that the texture has gotten a little bit different, and I haven't even added any water or anything like that. And so I think to most people they would say, oh yeah, that's good, it's thickening up, it's starting to look more like, you know, Santa Claus beard lather. But for me, I actually don't like it to be like this. So if you're like me, I would encourage you to not stop with water additions at this point. You can maybe see how thick it's getting under my neck here. So again, that's just more encouragement for me to keep adding water. So I'm going to speed up this process now. Just going to keep adding water, playing the brush, working it around, and I'll bring you back in when I'm about to start my first pass with the Karve Overlander. Stay tuned. Okay, we're back, and this is our first pass lather result. Maybe looks a little bubbly up top, but it's not bubbly like unstable. I was thinking that the soap was going to be like some of those sort of basic vegan soap formulas where if you start off with too much water, it'll get super frothy and then the lather will basically die. But it hasn't been like that at all. And this is what the brush looks like. And again, amazing to me that that's only off of 7 seconds of bloating. So again, not that that's the most important quality of a soap, but it is one that I have noticed and is in line with sort of the, you know, lower of MDC, like I said. So here's the Karve Overlander. It's got a Polsilver blade in it. That's been working really well. And here's the first pass with the grain. So I hope everybody has been enjoying these final weeks of summer. I've certainly been doing so, partially with what I do in my recreational time, but also professionally. It's been a very busy couple weeks. I'm sure I told some of you already that just this past weekend and then the weekend before that, I think I've been the busiest maybe ever. It's kind of hard to remember because maybe when I was in college there were some times where I had more performances over the course of a couple weeks because we were just playing all the time back then. But it was school, so some of those things were like recitals, and so I wasn't maybe getting paid for those. You know, it's funny how your perspective about career and things like that changes when you're in college versus when you're out of college. And I guess it's just a sign that you grow up and get older and mature. But I remember in college, it was just, if the gig paid, if it was a paying gig, you would say yes. And now I find myself being very picky about the gigs I take, and even, you know, wanting more from the already good ones. Then it's amazing to think that, what, two years ago, I wasn't doing any playing whatsoever. So, because of, you know, lockdown and everything. So it's like, it didn't matter how much gig paid because I wasn't playing gigs then. Okay, first pass done. That felt very nice. And we'll rinse and come back for pass number 2. Pass number 2. Okay, we're back, and let's do pass number 2 across the growth mostly. I realized I forgot to say anything about the soap scent. I think I've been using it so much that I'm getting a little bit less sensitive to the scent, but you know, I can still catch a little whiff of it. It's kind of a, this is kind of weird, I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, there it is. It's a little spicy, maybe. It's like on the spicier side of a Fougere. I tend to prefer the ones that are a little more dank and a little more musky, is maybe the way to say it. It's not bad. I think I've started to enjoy it more as the week has gone on. Somebody compared it. Oh, it was Greg who sent me the soap. He said it reminds him of the Panacrema Nuavia green, the Verde, it's called, I think. That's made in Italy, and I used to have that aftershave balm, and I could see how that would be a good pairing for the soap. I think gave that one away. it was okay, but I wanted to pass it along to somebody else. And I almost forgot to mention that we're wearing the Maggard razors. That was close shirt. They've been running a lot of sales lately. And so if you're interested in buying from them, you know, make sure you're subscribed to their email newsletter. Of course, you can find their sales directly on their website, but they'll send out a little email blast saying what kind of things they're putting on sale. So good time to buy from them. And also, we're excited to be going back to Maggard in just a couple weeks. I think it's 2 weeks from when this video is being recorded. We were there last year at the exact same time, so that kind of worked out well. But anyway, hopefully I'll catch a little footage, and I'll look forward to sharing that with you. Okay, second pass complete, no issues whatsoever. Third rinse and third lather coming up. Third and final pass, and to be clear, I am still rinsing my face in between passes as I normally would, but there you go. Okay, and here's the third and final pass against the grain, mostly. Again, really pleased with this razor. I plan on using this one for a while. I still am doing at least 2 WEC shaves off camera each week, as I hope to reach 100 open blade shaves by the end of the year. And I'm not using really anything except for the WEC at the moment. But I'm going to be bringing a Wade and Butcher razor from the early 1900s to Brad of Maggard Razors, and I'm hoping that he can hone that razor for me. And who knows, maybe that'll rekindle my straight razor interest. Luckily, I don't have too many that are just sitting in the cabinet, but I bought that Wade and Butcher a couple months ago, knowing that eventually I would hand it off to Brad to take a look at. You know, it's funny, you think you have something cool and different, and I sent Brad a picture of the razor, and I, you know, said something like, have you seen this razor before? Is it going to be possible to hone? Do you think it would be difficult to do so? Things like that. And I remember he very simply replied, yes, I've honed dozens of those. They're very common. So it's sad that it's not something super special, but it's also good that he has honed it before in a different blade, so he knows what he's doing. Welcome once again to all the new viewers from the Lather channel. Of course, if you haven't seen, we had a good podcast talking that got posted maybe a week or 2 weeks ago now. And then also John, aka Lather, he's been posting some kind of old school soap videos. He just used a gem, Everready 1912 in his most recent video, and of course I really like that. So anyway, third pass complete. I am super pleased. I will rinse and come back and talk to you over post-shave in just a moment. Okay, for post-shave today, we're going to be using another European Fougere, this one from Spain, from Eufros. This one was a gift from a kind viewer of the channel sometime in the past year, and I've really been enjoying this. It's sort of a thinner balm, and I think it works well in the warmer months, as in it's not so heavy that it's going to be uncomfortable to use when it's hot, perhaps when you're sitting on the beach in Spain. That's always what I think. Not that all of Spain is just a beach, but that's the nice way to think about it anyway. Okay, so that again is the Eufros Fougere aftershave balm. And of course we used the Karve Overlander with the green cut-off handle. You can get whatever color you want on this one. And the MDC Fougere, thank you so much to Greg for loaning this to me. This is what the tub looks like when it's been rinsed off. If you're interested, again, it looks exactly the same as it did before I started today's shave. And finally, the Wolfman WRB2. And again, plenty of lather. It's just incredible to me. And to be fair, I understand that it is a synthetic brush, and so it is going to be more efficient at picking up soap than something like a boar or badger. So if I use one of those with the soap, perhaps I would need twice as much loading time or something like that. So anyway, let me know if you have any experience with MDC, what you think about it, and let me know if you have any other comments down below. All right, so this has been HD Shaves. Take care. Thanks so much. We'll see you again next time. Bye.